We made a deal to tell this story, and we're telling this story.
Ellie still looks and acts like a 14-year-old from season 1, even though she's supposed to be 19.
Joel, I think I found something.
Whoa!
What?
Nothing. It's just your forehead seems bigger than last season.
I think I found a way through.
I'm sorry. That was acting. That's what that was. I don't really care what happens with this movie. I really hope her career is pretty much over. I'd be thrilled to see that.
Dad. Yeah.
Like most people, I liked the first season. I thought they did a great job. Season 2, I was skeptical on them not recasting Ellie and keeping Bella Ramsey as Ellie because it's supposed to take place 5 years into the future, but obviously Bella Ramsey in real life was not going to age that much in, the 2 years it took between seasons.
I'm in a very unique position because it's my second go at this story. But I've just now lived in this world for so long.
Yes, maybe we can prop it open with something and you can slide.
Whoa! Oh my god, what?
Is it getting bigger?
Stop it.
No, seriously, what's with that?
It's fine, Joel.
Does it hurt?
Joel, please, you're making me self-conscious.
I'm sorry, it's just a little bit startling.
Normal head, Joel. Can we just get back to the door things?
It's planetary.
Leave it.
It's gonna have its own area code soon.
Bella Ramsey's Hollywood dream has taken a dramatic nosedive into nightmare territory. Once celebrated as the shining star of HBO's The Last of Us, Bella now finds herself embroiled in one of the most savage industry shakeups we've seen in ages. Following the chaos of The Last of Us Part 2, which left fans reeling, and the abrupt cancellation of Part 3, whispers are flying that Bella has been stealthily shown the door by none other than Neil Druckmann and the bigwigs at HBO.
The Last of Us was plagued by complaints of bad casting, and The Last of Us 2 is not faring much.
That it's all Bella Ramsey's acting's fault here for the lackluster season. And I don't really agree with that. I don't think this material would work even if they did recast Ellie for somebody else that could embody, the grit and the intimidation that Ellie had in the game.
And it wasn't merely a case of dismal ratings. Sources reveal that Bella's firing wasn't about creativity, it was deeply personal. What transpired behind those closed doors could forever alter your perception of this entire franchise. But seriously, how did everything spiral out of control so quickly?
The creator of the show is finally speaking out about its failure. The Last of Us creator Craig Mazin admits Season 2 was a fake finale, drew over 50% less than the finale of Season 1. You lost half of your audience.
Never any fun not being able to go to sleep, just like it wasn't any fun watching Last of Us Season 2. So, in the show, Ellie still looks exactly the same, but is supposed to be 5 years older. Also, Ellie still acts exactly the same. So it really conflicts with what the character is supposed to be portrayed as.
Have you changed up your impression at all, or is it pretty much the same?
Well, the noise is the same. I've not got any more noises in my back pocket. The new infected are pretty terrifying. They're so smart, and they haven't really got a noise. That's the whole point of them, is they're silent and terrifying.
Ooh, give us a little silent and terrifying.
The Last of Us Part 2 was always destined to stir the pot, but no one could have predicted the explosive backlash that followed. Killing off Joel early, spotlighting bold new characters, and radically shifting the tone from the original, this creative gamble shattered the fanbase. Some hailed it as audacious, while millions cried betrayal. At the eye of this storm stood Bella Ramsey. Cast as Ellie, one of gaming's most iconic figures, Bella had some seriously big shoes to fill. Critics praised her emotional depth, but fans? Not so much. Social media erupted with attacks on her appearance, her voice, and even her grasp of the character. Hashtags like #NotMyEllie began trending, and forums that once buzzed with excitement turned into battlegrounds of disappointment. The more HBO tried to elevate her as the franchise's face, the louder the backlash roared. Yet, through it all, Bella pressed on. But the damage was already done. While the public pointed fingers at the writing and direction, insiders hinted that the real turmoil was brewing on set. Reports surfaced that Bella wasn't just buckling under pressure, she was clashing with the very people steering the ship. Multiple sources claimed she frequently pushed back against scripts, rewrote scenes on the fly, and even refused reshoots unless her vision was honored. Neil Druckmann, the series creator, allegedly grew frustrated with her constant pushback. One crew member reportedly labeled her impossible to direct during emotionally charged scenes. It wasn't just Neil feeling the heat. HBO producers found themselves caught between defending their star and managing internal chaos. Some began to quietly question whether Bella was still the right choice to carry the story forward. As they debated in the shadows, the ratings began to tell their own tale. Season 2 kicked off strong, with millions eager to see where the story would lead. But after just a few episodes, the numbers plummeted. Fast. Viewers dropped off, reviews turned brutal, and fan videos dissected every frame, accusing the show of abandoning what made the first season shine. Behind the scenes, HBO knew they had a crisis on their hands. Marketing teams scrambled to spin the narrative, putting Bella in front of every camera they could find, late-night shows, award circuits, viral campaigns. But instead of winning fans back, it only fanned the flames. To make matters worse, rumors circulated that Pedro Pascal, beloved as Joel, was distancing himself from the production. While he publicly supported the show, insiders claimed he was done babysitting a PR disaster. At this point, it was no longer just a shaky season, it was a full-blown franchise meltdown. For months, fans speculated about what The Last of Us Part 3 might entail. Would Ellie return? Could the story redeem itself after Part 2's fallout? Neil Druckmann teased possibilities, but nothing solid ever materialized. Now we know why. Behind the scenes, The Last of Us 3 was crumbling. HBO reportedly delayed greenlighting the script multiple times, budget talks stalled, and creative rewrites went in endless circles. The real bombshell? Sources say Neil Druckmann walked away from Bella Ramsey's version of Ellie entirely, frustrated, exhausted, and done. Insiders claim HBO executives held a private summit in early 2025 to decide the franchise's fate. What emerged from that meeting shocked even industry veterans. Cancel everything. No season renewal. No Part 3. No Bella Ramsey. No announcement. No farewell post. Just silence. The decision to scrap The Last of Us 3 came with a hidden second move. Bella Ramsey was allegedly let go at the same time. No press release. No public apology. Just a quiet removal from the cast lineup and all internal pitch documents. Her name was wiped from promo decks, and her involvement in future spin-offs was shelved. One anonymous HBO producer reportedly told an insider blog she wasn't just recast. She was erased. Word around the studio is that it was Neil Druckmann himself who pushed for this decision, with quiet approval from HBO's CEO. They wanted to avoid more drama, no social media storms, no headlines, just her gone before she could further damage the brand. And that might explain what happened next. In the weeks following the internal decision, Bella's online behavior shifted dramatically. She stopped promoting the show, vanished from press tours, and quietly canceled scheduled interviews. Her social media became cryptic, filled with vague posts about betrayal, growth, and starting anew. Fans noticed articles popping up with "Where's Bella?" becoming a trending topic. Then came the unfollows. Bella quietly unfollowed multiple co-stars and even HBO-affiliated pages, deleted behind-the-scenes posts, and turned off comment sections. TikToks vanished. A PR firm was brought in to manage the noise. Some claim HBO offered her a quiet payout to keep the firing under wraps, while others believe she's holding out, waiting to tell her side of the story. Either way, the silence is deafening. As Bella slipped from the spotlight, the online world didn't let her fade away quietly. YouTubers and streamers dove into every red carpet clip and behind-the-scenes rumor, and the conclusions were far from flattering. Channels boasting millions of subscribers churned out exposés with titles like "The Real Reason Bella Ramsey Got Dropped" and "Why HBO's Ellie Never Worked." Podcasts that once celebrated Bella began to scrutinize her attitude, her choices, and even her casting. Fan reactions became increasingly organized, with Reddit threads, Discord servers, and Twitter hashtags like #FireBella and #RecastEllie gaining serious momentum. To make matters worse, gaming insiders, those who once lauded Bella's bravery in taking on such a monumental role, started to turn against her. Game journalists hinted at miscommunications between Druckmann and Bella throughout production. Leaked call sheets allegedly revealed Bella skipping rehearsals or requesting solo script reviews to tweak lines. Even Caitlin Dever, long considered a fan favorite for Ellie, suddenly found herself trending again. Fan edits, side-by-side comparisons, and entire campaigns to replace Bella with Dever racked up hundreds of thousands of likes. And HBO? They were definitely paying attention. Hollywood may not make public blacklists anymore, but behind the scenes, it's a different story. Sources from multiple casting agencies claimed Bella's name began disappearing from shortlists for major roles following The Last of Us collapse. One executive reportedly told an insider blog she became a risk, not because of the controversy, but because she couldn't carry the weight. Neil Druckmann, once her most vocal champion, has reportedly gone radio silent on Bella. No more social media shoutouts, no more public praise, just a growing distance. The final blow? Bella's team allegedly reached out to a top streaming platform for a new deal, only to be politely declined. The reason? Too much noise. That's Hollywood speak for you're done. At least for now. As Bella fades into obscurity, the torch for Ellie may already be passing. Industry buzz suggests Caitlin Dever, who was originally in talks for Ellie before Bella, is back on the shortlist, not just for a series, but for a feature-length reboot. Whispers of a darker, more grounded Last of Us film are circulating studio lots, supposedly ditching the Part 2 plot entirely and reimagining Ellie in a new timeline. Without Bella. Leaked concept art hints at a more mature, war-scarred Ellie, a stark contrast to Ramsey's younger portrayal. Neil Druckmann is allegedly involved, but this time he's keeping creative control on a much tighter leash. No improvisation, no experiments, just a clean break from the disaster behind them. Bella Ramsey's rise was meteoric, soaring from indie darling to the face of one of HBO's most anticipated shows. But in mere months, everything unraveled. The fandom turned, directors walked, the franchise collapsed, and the girl once hailed as the future of Ellie is now completely out of the picture. No farewell, no tribute, no closure. It's the kind of fall that Hollywood doesn't script because it's too real, too raw, and way too common. One moment you're gracing every magazine cover, and the next, your name is whispered in boardrooms as a cautionary tale, not for lack of talent, but for misreading the room. And the room has moved on. Behind the scenes, the message is crystal clear. The Last of Us will continue, but Bella won't be part of it. She carried the weight of Ellie on her shoulders, but when that burden became too heavy, even her staunchest supporters stepped back. Neil Druckmann gave her a shot. HBO provided her a platform. The fans gave her a voice. But when it all crumbled, none of them could save her. Hollywood moves at lightning speed, and for Bella Ramsey, the lights dimmed just as quickly as they shone. Maybe she'll bounce back. Maybe she won't. But one thing's for sure, in the realm of television royalty, the moment you stop being useful, they stop writing your story.